So the other tools, smartphone. So many of you, I suspect, you know, have a smartphone. It has a GPS included. You can use an app on a smartphone. The advantage of this is that you can set the form so that it gives some quality control, so it won't let you enter a totally incorrect value. You can set these are acceptable ranges for this field you're filling in, so you can do some quality control. GPS is built in. You've also got your camera, so you can get a photo of what you're seeing if it's important. And then most importantly is that you can automatically transfer the information. So, you know, straight to a database. You don't have to type in information from a paper form. We all make mistakes when we're typing information. So again, we can reduce errors. Plus, it's quicker, yeah? So just the time it takes you to get back, fill in the information in your form, then send it to somebody, this can happen automatically, yeah? Some disadvantages, you know, obviously it's something maybe new, so just getting used to using the system. With the smartphones, the small screen size is a problem, yeah? I mean, it's often quite hard to fill in a survey form on a smartphone, but it's possible. And now you get more of the, I don't know, kind of intermediate phone, sort of, it's not a tablet, but it's bigger than a normal phone, so it's kind of those intermediate ones are probably, you know, quite a good option. Sending data, I mean, you obviously, you need, you know, 3G, 4G, or you need a Wi-Fi connection. So, you know, you've got to have some means, you know, of being able to transmit data, but usually that's not a problem. And the other one is visibility in the field. I mean, any electronic device, yeah, if you're in bright sunlight, it can be difficult to see the screen. Yeah, but you can often, you know, like use your body as a shadow, or, you know, go into a place with shade, yeah. But I've yet to find an electronic device that it's perfect to read in bright sunlight. If somebody knows of one, I'd like to hear about it. Yeah, Kindles are pretty good actually. Yeah. And also, you know, GPS connections with some of these. I don't think the GPS receiver is as good as the handheld GPS. So in some areas, I've had to wait a long time to actually get the GPS signal. And I think it's just the receiver, a function of the receiver in the device. The tablet, so we got the app that Satguru developed. So it's up and running and it's working for South Asia, which it's great, and I think many of you are using it. I mean, similar advantages to the smartphone. I mean, the biggest one is that you've got larger screen space. I mean, that's why we went more to the tablets. It's much easier to actually enter the data than on a small screen smartphone. And the price of these things, I mean, again, they're just coming down all the time, yeah? So again, you know, maybe in the $150 price range, you can get these things. Disadvantages, well, I mean, maybe not so much now, but you know, they were a bit more expensive than other, but the price is decreasing all the time. Again, the screen visibility, I mean, you have similar issues with seeing it in direct sunlight. And I mean, again, you've got to have an option, some way to be able to transfer data, 3G, 4G, Wi-Fi connections. But with all of these, both the smartphone and this one, the data is stored on the device. So you can collect data in the field. You don't have to have a data connection. It'll store on the device, And then when you say come back to the office, you have a Wi-Fi connection, then you can send the data. Yeah? So you don't have to have the connection the data connection in the field. So that's important. Okay, Barbary. So we'll get to see, I think, a few Barbary bushes today. So we saw the video the other, about really nice video on the Barbary. So that gave you a lot of information. And I think a lot of the points I'm just repeating here. So local knowledge is extremely important with Barbary. Yeah? It can be really difficult to find them. In this area, it's not so much of a problem. But in other countries, sort of African countries, they're in a few very discrete locations, and it's almost like looking for a needle in a haystack. So having people, local people, I mean, what we've done is go to farmers with pictures and say, have you ever seen this plant? And if you're lucky, you can find some farmers who say, oh yeah, I know that. And they'll take you, to a place you would have never have found, without their help. So that's what we're using in some countries. Or botanists, people who are doing botanical surveys, a university, they're also good people to talk to. It's like, do you know where barberries are located? Here, I mean, you can probably find them just about everywhere, but in Africa, certainly, it's a challenge to find them. The sort of proximity to wheat or cereal fields, on the video they said 10 kilometers. I mean, we don't really have, the information as to how far Basidiospores or Ischiospores are actually moving, but that's a rough guide. I think the closer the proximity to a cereal field, the more interesting the Barbary is. Yeah, they're the ones that I would really look at. Botanical knowledge. Identifying Barbary species, to be perfectly honest, is a complete nightmare. I mean, there's hundreds of species, and the differences between them are minute. I can't do it. I mean, other than say, well, okay, yeah, we think this one is a different species to this one, but I mean, really having that botanical, somebody who really knows them. I mean, Sajid, would you agree with?
Of course, there are some species which you can easily identify, but then, like in Pakistan, we have more than 20 species.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, one of my uncle is botanist, so I take help from him.
In Nepal also, more than 30 species.
Right. Yeah. Now this region is incredibly diverse in terms of Barbary. And also, timing. Yeah, this was in the video. If possible, it's a good idea to separate your Barbary from your rust survey. And the worry here is that if you're collecting rust samples, then it's very easy for you to get contamination that goes onto your Barbary samples. So all you're looking at is the contamination. Yeah, if it's all mixed up together in the same bag, then most likely it's just contamination. But it's not always possible, I have to say. Yeah, just it always costs money to go out and do a survey. To do a completely separate Barbary survey, it's not possible. But if you do it at the same time, then try as much as possible to really separate the samples. What we usually do is that one person has the Barbary samples and another person has the rust samples. Yeah, so we don't keep them. We keep them physically separated as much as possible.
Today we'll see 2 species of barberries.
Good.
Botanical garden.
Okay. And this is a picture I took recently in Ethiopia. Yeah, I've never seen ischial infections like we saw on this trip. I mean, it was just dripping with ischia. Okay, survey tools. We've got a data management system, Wheat Rust Toolbox. We've now got it. There's a component within there that also handles Barbary survey data. So again, it's just an indication we're getting tools to help us with other surveys as well. Georeferencing, exactly the same as with the Rust surveys. This is a critical piece of information. Okay, data. So, after you've done your survey, what next? Okay, compile information and send the data as soon as possible, either to your contact person within country or can come to me from the international point of view. Online data entry, I mean, if you're using the tablet, then it's going to go straight in anyway. You don't have to worry about putting information in. With the global toolbox, we have an online data entry form, so you can put in information using that system. The mobile, I mean, it's just a data connection, yeah, 3G, 4G. Just don't leave your, you know, if you go to all the trouble and cost of doing a survey, yeah, the job isn't finished until you've sent the data to where it can be analysed, yeah. If you just forget about that data and just leave it in your office drawer, then you're just wasting your time, you're wasting your money, yeah. Don't do it. So the value, I mean, obviously it's a snapshot of the current disease status. Can help detect your first disease outbreaks, which could be critical for your follow-up control activities if your timing's right. Repeat surveys could give you an indication of change over time. In terms of, yeah, previously resistant cultivars suddenly becoming susceptible, you can pick that up on your surveys, which is really important. Changes between years, and then also, you know, once we get the data into these data management systems, then we can start adding value. Yeah, we can start, you know, doing different types of analyses and getting different information just from the raw survey data. And I'll put a few things here about, you know, wind models, disease models, things like this. But we can only do it once we've got the data together in one place.